Mega is an improvised satire from the staff of a fictional megachurch.
We are here, Lord, we are here, and we're ready to podcast.
Hiya, I'm Hallie Labont, and this is Mega, coming to you from Twin Hills Community Church, where every single week we're giving our mega church just the tiniest family feel. We introduce you to members of our church staff and people from our community every single week, and I think it is a treat and it is a treasure. Well, per usual, I'm joined by my co-host. He's the youth pastor for our high school ministry called Climax. Please welcome Gray Haas.
Adonai, El Camino, Adonai, Hallie, what is up? It's so good to be back here in 2022.
Oh, it's good to see you too, Gray. Now, I gotta ask about this t-shirt you got on.
Isn't this great? My teens made them for me.
Oh.
It says, faith without twerks is dead ass.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Is dead ass a bad word?
No, Hallie, dead ass is not a bad word. It's
Oh.
something that, once white people started saying it, it became more mainstream and therefore acceptable, but, also probably killed it.
Oh,
So,
cool. Okay, good. Well, how was your break? Did you see your girlfriend, Jen
I
Hatmaker?
spent such good time with my lady friend, Jen Hatmaker. And, it was a bummer. We were planning an awesome trip to New York City.
Ooh.
So, we like to go see Broadway shows,
Yeah.
what she does. And it's really, really a bummer because all the shows were canceled for this silly variant.
Oh, no. I know. It's just crazy.
I know. I've just had enough of this Delta and Omicron. Let's just focus on the Alpha and Omega, if you know what I mean.
See, I'm with you.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a bummer. But you know what? We ended up doing a fun trip, just a road trip to Providence, Rhode Island instead. And, I had never been there, but we did a bunch of antiquing, which I didn't think I'd like, but it turns out I still really didn't. But I bought Jen this old dumbwaiter, which I thought was pretty romantic because she loves to cook, but she doesn't like to serve. And then luckily we got these tickets changed to go see Jagged Little Pill, which was the show we were going to see on Broadway when it comes to tour in Texas, because they're not going to cancel that.
Oh, nice.
And I'm sure it's going to be great, as long as they change the music from Alanis Morissette to anybody else. So, yeah. Anyway.
Well, it'll happen in Texas. Texas doesn't pay any attention to that virus
yeah, you
stuff.
can't close for anything, even if it's a musical about the music of Alanis Morissette. Anyway, how are you, Hallie? How was your break?
I'm so blessed. Great. Well, I took the Bestimony seminar. Did you do it?
No, I didn't do it, but I heard about it. I saw all the pamphlets for it.
It is so awesome. So Steve, head pastor Steve, just taught a 5-day class called Bestimony, basically where he takes your testimony and he makes it the best possible version that it could ever be.
Right.
He gives it a tune up or a punch up, or he makes it more exciting, whatever it needs. And it was free for staff. And I got in there. I was in the front row. And any members of Twin Hills, they can come in too it's like, I think you have to pay $800 for the class fee. But folks, let me tell you that next time, if you didn't do it this time, next time he does it, I am here to tell you it's worth every penny.
I mean, please, people, take this class because I feel like so many of these testimonies are just getting so boring.
It's
you know what I mean?
awesome. And Steve works with you personally to get your conversion story, kind of zhuzhed up. And he used me as an example. I was sitting in the front row. He had me get up and I told my testimony. And it was just sort of basic, I guess. And then he did it. And everyone was just falling out of their chairs.
Wait, so he did your testimony?
Yeah, right then and there. He just was like, here's what I'm going to do. All of you are going to be able to have a bestimony by the end of this 5-day class. And he did me as an example.
Oh, that is so cool. I'm not sure if I've ever heard your testimony, Hallie. What is it?
Well, it's not that interesting. I was raised in a Christian home. I always believed that I was saved. I believed in God. I had asked Jesus into my heart and all that. But then one time when we were out on a youth group thing, when I was in high school, we were out on this day trip thing, and one of the guys in the youth group who was a year older than me, and I really respected his opinion, he told me that you have to have like a conversion moment to really be considered saved. And so I had one, you know, and then I was like really, really saved. And so it was cool.
So how did Steve, because that is boring. How did Steve zhuzh it up?
Oh, well, here I was out alone in a field. in the middle of the day. The sun was hot. I was sweating. I felt alone. I was looking around. There was one man who was walking toward me. He was an older fella. He was twice my size. I became afraid for my own safety.
Right.
I was afraid I was about to be overpowered. I wondered what is about to happen. I'm covered in cold sweats now. He's getting closer. He's coming. It's as if I'm a frontier person, trying to forge ahead, but not knowing my future. All of a sudden, I realize I am in desperate need of a savior. He comes up to me. I fall down in front of him, not knowing if I'm about to be, raped or murdered,
Right.
And so I'm already on my knees in front of this like a godly upright man who
I'm
look
confused.
up into.
Wait, so he was godly and upright, or were you scared of him?
Well, this was just the teenage boy who told me I had to have a conversion story.
Oh, you totally, okay, I see. I wasn't really listening
See?
to your original one, but now that really swept me up.
See?
Yeah, because
isn't that cool?
Right.
And when he did it right there in front of everybody, and it ended with me, crying on my knees, and this godly man, holding, his big palms over my shoulders and my scapulas as I prayed.
What a
and
great image.
Threw myself upon the throne room floor of my Savior. It was awesome. It was so cool.
Hallie, congratulations. You've got to get up and do that sometime. I mean, that could be a one-woman show. It's probably better than Jagged Little Pill.
Just like a star led the wise men to Jesus, a star has brought our guest today. It's Coco Vilsack.
Hi, Miss LeBont and Mr. Gray.
Hey, it's
Hi.
so fun to see you, Coco. She's one of my, she's a sophomore this year, and she is in Climax, and it's so awesome to see you. And I love when our teens come on here just to represent, how much they love Christ and Jesus specifically. So it's so fun to have you here.
Yeah, he's cool and you're cool too.
Thanks so much.
It just blesses my heart to no end when I see a teenager, an adolescent, because a lot of times, as soon as somebody becomes a teen, all they care about is being with their friends and being on their phones and getting out of the house and getting that driver's license. And a lot of times, teens don't want to talk to adults. They're like, get away from me, or they don't think Jesus is cool. And the fact that you're committed to church and to Christ and that you would sit and talk to a couple of grownups is so sweet.
Well, I think that grown-ups need youth's help as well.
So, Coco, what are you up to these days? I just love checking in with my youth and seeing what your interests and hobbies are, because, one thing that I'm really into these days is just making sure that I know what the youth are up to, because that's how we stay relevant with youth. And so what are some of the things that are really exciting you in your Christian walk?
Well, as you know, I'm really big into service, and obviously Climax is a big part of that. And
Totally.
What I've been doing lately for for the kids and like the people I babysit, and like some sort of adults too. I do like I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Like I do like tarot card readings and I like do people's birth charts like in astrology. So it's like become this like thing that I've like really started to like deep dive into, and I'm on a bunch of message boards, and I'm just like, I don't know. It's very cool. It's cool.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, real quick question, because I don't always understand, like they're so similar, the words astronomy and astrology.
Right, maybe you're saying astronomy.
They're so similar. It's just,
I'm not. Mr.
Okay. So what's the difference? Because I know astronomy might be one that's okay, but also a little bit scary, because a lot of scientists just really hate God and are trying to make people fall away from Christ. But is astrology the same as science, or what's the difference?
Right, maybe,
I know it's just one
maybe
letter.
Something's kind of just getting mixed up in terms of the
L.
definition.
Okay. Oh, wow. I guess I don't know. Maybe it is the same thing, but I'm not very interested in like learning about like Venus or Saturn.
Okay.
The planets in that way, like, like how much water is in them, like I'm not interested, but I am interested in Miss LeBon's, where is her Venus in her chart? Like where does she like need love and stuff like in her birth chart? So
what is that?
Wow, I have a chart?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I would love to just, if I may, just get your date of birth, the place of birth, and then where you were born, and I could do your full natal chart. So it's like a snapshot of what the sky looked like the second you were born.
Wow. Well, that sounds almost biblical because the wise men were looking at the sky the night Jesus was born.
Exactly.
I don't know, Haley.
Wow. I mean, my kids told me that one time. They said, God was using astrology by putting a star in the sky and using it as a sign. I mean, I guess that's what you're doing, huh?
Well, my assumption is that he created astrology and astronomy because he's our creator.
Wow.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm a little bit, I guess, I'm just praying right now silently to myself because I'm just a little bit worried about, maybe the direction.
I can see your stress line in your forehead. I knew that you were stressed.
I'm going to get that fixed, but I'm going to just go ahead and say, we have what we like to call a Christian version of this that might not be quite as new agey or slippery slope. We've got the Enneagram, and that is, you just assigned a simple number and it tells you everything about your life and how you behave and what your personality traits are. And I would say, have you tried Enneagram? Because it kind of sounds magical, but I don't know if it's kind of doing all this star stuff.
Yeah, I have, and it's more boring. And yes, because astrology, especially when you learn, your sun is your personality. What we all know that I am a Taurus, but I also, because I did my natal chart on cafeastrology.com and it's free. That my moon is Aries and my rising is Gemini. So it's like a full, I think to me, a greater picture than Enneagram.
Okay.
So if your sun is the personality, what's the moon?
The moon is like your past, your relationship with your mother, your first family. It's things you don't even think about. And then your rising or your ascendant is like your mission in life and your mission in life or like your future, your goal.
Yeah.
And so I'm a Gemini. And of course, it will be no surprise to Mr. Gray because I love to talk. I'm always talking.
Yeah, sometimes a bit too much, but
that's hilarious. And then I want to bridge people. Right now, I feel like I'm being of service to you guys because you're so much older. And then I'm bridging. I'm making a bridge and I'm fusing opposites to let you guys know that it's all good and it's cool.
Good. I mean, she said it's a mission. I mean, missions are good. Missions are where we take Jesus and force it on other cultures.
It's when we go to when we do working vacations. That's what you always say, right, Mr. Gray?
That's right.
Missions are working vacations.
That is right.
Yeah, that make you feel good.
And we have fun. So, and I just want to throw in there, if there are youth listening, we do have a youth mission trip coming up to Cabo San Lucas. It is coming up in end of January for winter break, and it's just going to be amazing.
Yes, we're going to clean up a senior frogs.
That's right.
That is so cool. That is so good. Well, I noticed that the last time you had someone come who was a refugee talking about all their hardships and climax, you kind of balanced it out by after hearing about someone who'd been through extreme torment in life. Then you balanced it with a little bit of quick karaoke, right?
That's right.
You got to keep the spirits lifted.
So I just want to.
We only sang Amy Grant's oeuvre.
I love Amy Grant. I'm not going to lie. She's my favorite.
Who doesn't?
Oh, she's awesome. And Vince Gill loves her so much.
She doesn't seem to age, but he does. He kind of seemed to age in double time. Anyway, I do want to circle back because, you said all these things. You say Gemini and Taurus, and I guess those are all models of different kinds of cars. But I don't really understand, what you're saying when it comes to, personality and stuff. Because what I like to say, Coco, is, God gave you your personality and God gave you a calling. And you're going to hear that calling in those still quiet moments when you're praying or when you're working out at the gym or things like that. And I just don't know if you've gotten it, you've attached all these other kind of bells and whistles to it. So I kind of want to dig down into that to show that, I just first I want to kind of talk about what that means to you. And then I want to try to disprove it using kind of my apologetics and Christian intellect. So let's go ahead and dive in. So what do you mean by,
I love a debate.
What do you mean by, these things telling you let's use an example. So why don't we use me? Why don't you go ahead and tell me what this kind of this stuff, all this mystical stuff is saying about me, and then I'll tell you if it's right or wrong.
Okay.
So does he give you his birthday and time of birth or what?
Well, let's just start with your let's just do your sun sign. Do you know what your sun sign is?
No, I don't, and I'm proud of it. But yeah,
Oh.
I guess you could tell me.
But his personality is that he's really hip and cool. If
Right.
that tells you about his
Sure.
I've got a
son.
ton of energy. I've got
Okay, Mr. Gray, do you not know your birthday?
well, I know my birthday. Yeah, it's January
Oh.
16th.
January 16th. And what year?
I'm sorry, I'm not going to answer that.
Okay. It was a trick question anyways. Okay. January 16th. I'm just going to double check. I want to say that you're a Capricorn, but you may not be. So just want to double check. I'm going to just really just give me a 1 second. Speak amongst yourselves. Talk about adult things like taxes and such. You are a Capricorn. Okay.
See, now
You're a
what-
Capricorn.
I mean, okay.
Of
yeah.
course you're a Capricorn, Mr. Gray. I should have
Okay.
just said that from the get-go.
See, now
Oh.
I just want to say, like, look,
What?
I don't know what that means, but
You're a
what?
goat.
Okay, what does that mean? Like greatest of all
You're-
time?
Okay, sure. If that's what you want.
Greatest
okay.
of all time, Gray. That's cool.
Oh, did you say greatest of all time? Because then that's for sure. Because you're old. Okay,
Not that old.
so how old are you?
No, yeah,
I love
okay.
to do this at Climax. I just want to find out how old he is, and not because I really care, but because it bothers him so much, Miss Sally.
No, you know what? If I told you, it would be a bit shocking because sometimes I'm afraid that the youth will be like, oh, he's so close to our
Yeah.
age that, we don't respect him anymore. So put it this way, I'm old enough to be a
Yeah.
youth leader and I'm definitely still very young and cool and hip.
I can tell you because I'm friends with everybody that we don't think that at all.
That's
But you are
hilarious.
nice and you're cool and and I think you should own up to whatever age you are. And I'm just gonna guess that you're 40.
Oh, wow. I was going to say late 20s.
Okay.
Well,
We're
just
doing the
because-
thing where we're
I don't-
nice.
Just because he changes his hair so much and he's always wearing the tight
I just
jeans
don't
and
even
stuff.
think this. See, this is what I'm saying. If you
Okay.
can't, what does that even have to do with any of this stuff? Because
Okay,
what
sorry.
you're saying, Coco,
It's a side. It's a
Okay,
side thing.
okay,
I just want
right.
you to know that J-Lo is 50 and Body is banging. And
That's true.
I'm sure she believes in God too,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Well, he believes
definitely.
in
I
her.
don't think it was even. I mean, J-Lo was like, she's old, really old to me. Anyway, okay. So what are we talking about? This
Oh,
goat
yeah.
Yeah,
Capricorn
what does
stuff.
Capricorn mean?
Sorry, I'm a Gemini and sometimes I get so scattered with my thoughts and stuff.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. So
That just might be because you're a teenager, but go on.
Huh? I am. Okay. So Capricorns, okay. Like if you can picture a goat or a sheep, a big horn sheep, okay?
Okay.
And that big horn sheep is climbing up the mountain and it's efforting kind of like how you effort with your like tight jeans and all the different dyes you use. And sometimes they're like rips that are clearly like man-made and manufactured. It's like that kind of like efforting, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, I totally know that you tailor your t-shirts because my mom owns that store. Okay. So efforting up the mountain.
Okay.
Your mom owns Little Naughties?
Yeah.
She's such a good seamstress.
Wow, this is a small world.
It's not
Anyway.
her. She hires seamstress. My mom's
Oh.
kind of more of like a bossy bitch. I mean,
Oh.
sorry.
Okay. Yeah, that really
Sorry.
hit my heart. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Anyway, back to this goat stuff.
Yes.
Effort.
So you're wearing what you wear, and sometimes you spike your hair, sometimes you use clearly a flat iron, and then it's efforting up. Okay. And so you're about like the goal, you're a leader, you're totally a leader.
Right. I've all,
Yeah,
that's
and
the
then
first
you-
true thing.
Yep. You go up the hill, you're up the hill,
Okay.
and then you're on the summit. And then, Mr. Gray, this is what you do at Climax. You tell the people how you got up on the summit.
Okay.
Just like who? Who am I thinking of?
I mean,
Just like,
Jesus?
yeah, Jesus, just like Moses.
Oh.
Yes. So you're up on the top of the hill and you're telling the people, like, this is how you get up. This is how you
Okay.
get up,
Show
right?
the way, Gray.
Yeah, show them the way. This is the box dye I use.
Okay.
This is like, yeah, like that's who you are. Like this,
A
don't
leader.
buy, yeah, all the chains that I have, you don't have to buy them full. It's actually cheaper if they're hollow gold chains. Like that's
Okay.
you, Mr. Gray.
Okay, I just want to back up for a second. All of that stuff that you said, Coco,
Yes.
I would say
Moses,
don't-
Jesus.
yeah, Moses, Jesus, and then a bunch of other hooey. That stuff is, I'm an Enneagram 3. I'm the achiever. So yes, I do climb up the mountain and I tell people what to do, and I'm just a leader, natural born leader. But, all that other stuff with the hair dye and the chains and the jeans and the rips and stuff, that is just not true. And so I'm going to have to go ahead and show, I don't dye my hair. This is totally natural. These jeans are kind of my work jeans. So they do have kind of some stress rips in them. I'm sorry, but I do think that's cool. The t-shirts, I'm surprised that your mom owns Little Naughties, but this, I just put it on. I work out a lot. So, it's going to fit. So, I guess what I'm saying is, the Enneagram could show you that stuff, but without all that other kind of bunk. You know what I mean, Hallie?
Yeah, I think you're showing her the way right now, which is what she said you're doing.
Right, exactly. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you from the mountaintop that a lot of that stuff just doesn't check out. I'm sorry.
But the sun highlights your hair red?
Well, first off, this is called Strawberry Supreme, and it's not. I wouldn't say that it's. Okay, so this is not a dye. What it is a natural highlight, and it's called Strawberry Supreme that I put in just for, because, in the wintertime, our skin is pale, and I just want the hair to kind of have the highlights of the skin, so I
agree that you are pale, but I guess how different from what I said? I guess we're just like getting into semantics and specifics. Like I guess maybe the only difference is I didn't say Strawberry Supreme.
Why don't we do Hallie?
Oh, Coco, could we do a reversal where I describe myself and see if you can guess my birthday?
Oh, this
I
will
would
never work.
love that.
Okay.
Yes,
well,
please.
You know what, Gray? This could show you whether or not she's the real deal or whether if all of this is a bunch of hooey.
Right,
okay?
exactly.
Okay. So I'll describe my sun first, which would be my personality,
Yes,
which I guess would be like I'm an Enneagram.
Yes.
I wish I was a 2 because the 2 is the helper. And I feel like that's the most Christ-like number. And most moms are 2s. And I'm a mom and I want to just take care of everyone and serve. But unfortunately, I'm not a 2. I also wanted to be a 4 because that's the artist. And that one's really cool and moody and stuff. But unfortunately, I'm a 7. I'm the enthusiast. I like to make things a party. I like to have a good time. So my personality is that I'm enthusiastic and I just want to make things fun.
And you help people and like you serve like water to the village. Okay.
And my moon, so my past and my family is that I come from a family that never talked about anything at all. We mostly just kept up appearances. It's like very important, reputation and image. And I'm in a relationship with a man who, he's into Sports Center and he's paleo, and mostly he doesn't seem to notice when I'm around.
Oh. Yeah, everybody knows about Mr. Lance.
Okay.
I have a full picture. Okay, so Spirit is telling me that your sun sign. Okay, hold on. Let me just feel the air a little bit. And Spirit is saying that you're an Aquarius. And not only that, I think I'm seeing in my mind, Spirit is showing me in my mind your exact birth date. and it's the month after January, February 9th. And 1980.
Great, that's my birthday.
What?
That's my birthday. That is my actual birthday.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
And this isn't Spirit. This is just me, Coco. If you're about to be 43, then I realized I was being too kind to Mr. Gray because he's probably like 47, 48. Because look at you and look at him.
Coco.
What? Hallie, I thought you were in your 50s and there's no way that There's no way.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe. Look, I'm pulling out my driver's license. Look at this. February 9th, 1980. Look at this, Coco.
Hallie,
February 9th, 1980. That's my birthday. She got my birthday dead on.
Are you 48?
56. I am.
Are you 48,
no,
Mr.
no,
Gray?
I am not 48. I'm not 48.
It's the youth that keep you so young, Gray.
This is just okay. So I want to back up because Coco, you're saying Spirit is telling me. So maybe instead of all that other stuff, that's the Holy Spirit speaking to you. Okay, and that is a gift. If that is the Holy Spirit.
Okay, I agree. So then you agree that you're a Capricorn.
Yeah, I agree. He's a Capricorn.
Okay. Okay. I'm not.
And
48.
you agree that you're 48 years old.
This is so exciting.
It's just so insane
I
that
feel like
someone
I've
even
always
thinks that.
been so terrified of anything, like palm readers or psychics. We've always
I
been
get
told
that.
they're dangerous and scary and that astrologers are just, it's bunk, it's dumb and it's a waste of time and it's just trying to lead people's focus away from Christ. But honestly, listening to Coco makes me realize like maybe Jesus can use all of these things to bring people closer to
Yes,
him.
But maybe Jesus created it. And also like, I don't know about psychics. I don't know about palm readers, but like, you know me, you've known me since I was just a little baby. Like,
Right.
you know me,
Right.
Mr. Gray, you know me,
I know. I sometimes, wish I didn't, but
I
Coco-
only, what?
Oh, no, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to talk about going through his garbage for fun, but you go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to ask you because a lot of times we're trying to get people saved because we know that life with Christ is a better life and we just want good things for people and we want to
Yes.
get them out of hell and into heaven and all that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to hear from you because maybe there's a way that these things can work together is what is it that you get personally out of being into this type of stuff? What does it give you? What do you get from it, Coco?
I think I get bigger ideas of what Christ could be in my life. And like, what if I had this thought? I was eating Pop Rocks in my basement and pulling cards, tarot cards, oracle cards, maybe they were oracle cards. Anyways, I'm a Gemini. And so I was like, what if like when Christ like died on the cross for our sins, he was reborn as a woman?
what?
Whoa.
What if? And like, yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
It's just something to like think about,
this
like a
is where,
mind exercise.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've got to point this out because this is going a bridge too far.
It's okay.
Okay. I'm not 48. The second thing is, I just don't think that this is the problem. You add a little bit of this stuff in and you say, okay, we're going to go beyond the Enneagram. We're going to do this stuff. And then you start saying these just crazy things like Christ was reborn as a woman. And even that idea is just absolutely cuckoo, Coco.
Okay.
So-
Or just, okay. Sorry. Well, Christ is trans. Is that better?
I don't. Okay, here we go with Taurus, trans, all this car stuff. I don't understand. But what I'm saying is
I wasn't saying that Christ is a trans am. That's like really dumb.
But if Christ were a Trans Am, you know what? I would still love him and still follow him. And Trans Ams are cool.
What?
And you know what, Coco? Just as a woman, I'll tell you, because I've lived a long life and I've had a lot of kids and I know how the world works. The answer to your question, what if Jesus was born as a woman? The answer to that is nobody would have listened to him because women are, not respected. People aren't interested in what they have to say. They don't want to pay him the same amount of money for the same amount of work. They just want him to be quiet, to be small, to stay thin, to be pretty, to sort of shut up and to, be on the arm of a good and upright man. So Jesus wouldn't want to be, so submissive and secondary like that. He has to be primary. He has to be Optimus Prime.
Okay. Yeah. That just reminds me of a website I was on that was saying that, who's the nice lady that the Bible says is a whore?
Oh, Mary Magdalene?
Yeah. What if Mary Magdalene was became actually number one disciple, but then the other dudes and stuff were like, I don't want to listen to a lady. And then they called her a whore. Because that's basically what happened to this girl in my class on TikTok.
Oh no.
So then I was like, what if though? You know what I mean? Because you're right. And it's messed up. Yeah. And it's wrong. And let us tear down the patriarchy, Miss Hallie. I hear you. And I'm going to make flyers.
Okay, we got to stop. Okay, see, this is.
I'm putting it in my bullet journal.
I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to put the brakes on all of this talk because first off, I'm not 48. Second, I just got to remind everyone that. See, this is what happens when you just let kids get on the internet and do whatever they're doing on there. We've got to really, parents, listen up. We've got to have we've got to have a lot of control over what our kids are putting in their minds and brains. Because as we can see, Coco's gotten pretty confused. I'm going to have to call them on later and also see if they've got a sale this weekend.
You can call her, but she tries to do all these controls and stuff. But I'm the one who has to help her remember her Netflix password. So I know how to bust out of any sort of restriction she puts on me. I'm sure she'd love to hear from you. You guys are around the same age, 48, 49. marching
You know
towards
what,
50.
Coco? I'll tell you what. I can also answer that question. What if Mary Magdalene was the number one disciple? Unfortunately, if she was, all the other disciples would be distracted. They wouldn't be able to listen to the words of Jesus because there would be a woman there. She has a bosom. She has other things going on under her gown that make them think about it. Next thing you know, we don't have any of the teachings of Jesus passed down and written in all the gospels because all the fellas were like, there's the girl here. That means there's two boobs and there's, things here. And, because women are a stumbling block, for good and upright men who need to focus on Christ.
A stumbling block.
I know.
Is that how you feel about Mr. Lance? Are you a stumbling block?
Oh, I wish he would come trip over me. And it's funny that now you mention a stumbling block. I'm like, what is a stumbling block? Is that something that
is that an obstacle? Like if you're an American Gladiator and like you have to get over it?
Is that an American Gladiator thing? Because I've actually never wondered, what is a stumbling block? Are those real things? Do you make them in the art of war to like put in your opponent's way so that they trip and fall? Is it just, what's a stumbling block? Is it just like in the cartoons when you would put the wire across the road?
If it's a war, I hope you would want to do more than just have your enemy stumble and then get back up.
Yeah.
I think a stumbling block is anything that is going to separate you from the love of God and distract you from that. And I'm using this voice right now to just be very serious.
Yeah, this is his calm voice.
It makes us really focus up.
This is important for everybody to hear that, all this astrology and astronomy and all of this stuff is just, I would say, a big stumbling block. And I don't know what is this card is that you're holding up in front of my face. What is that?
It's shadow work. While you were talking, I was like, let me pull. I can see here. I'll do it in a voice that you understand. Mr. Gray, while you were talking, I could tell you were struggling. And so while I was listening to you, I was keeping you in my mind, in my heart. And I said, Spirit, what does Mr. Gray need to know right now? And I pulled this, and it's a black eye Susan, and it's shadow work.
Ooh,
and I think this card is saying that you need to embrace that you're 51 years old. I'm not kidding. This is so fun, Mr. Gray. I love doing this.
And I think I'm going to use this voice right back at you to let everybody know that I'm not 48 years old, I'm 51 years old. I'm nowhere near that. So basically, I just want to put that out there that none of that stuff is true. And I don't know what this shadow work stuff is.
Okay. I know that I was joking about your age and I was being a little naughty, which, that's why my mom named her shop what she named it. I'm going to read this book. That gives explanation of the card, and just you listen. If you please listen with an open heart, open mind, and just let me know if there's anything that you resonate with. Okay. So it's this black-eyed Susan. It's about diving into the subconscious. It's about allowing for deeper healing and integration. So like if there was maybe parts of yourself, Mr. Gray, that you like hide from other people and kind of keep separate, like parts of yourself or like a person,
a relationship.
A relationship. Like it's this card is saying, bring it back together, bring it all, come be in the shadows, but then come into the light.
Yeah. Like maybe you should bring your friend Clay Mason Bannerman to Twin Hills. He never comes to Twin Hills.
Yeah. I mean, it's about making space for realization and transformation. Like it's calling for you to kind of come through, come out,
come forth.
I am not 48.
Between 48 and 52.
Coco Vilsack was played by the ever-delightful Kulap Vilaysak. She's the absolute best. Check out her wonderful podcast, Add to Cart, and follow her at Kulap. I'm Holly Laurent playing Hallie Labont, and Grey Haas was played by Greg Hess. Follow us and Mega the Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. And if you really want to get out of hell free card, support us on Patreon. The link is in the show notes.